Welcome to Bible Crafts for Kids. The next in the Miracles of Jesus series is number 5, Jesus Heals Many Sick in the Evening. The number 4 create-a page was Jesus Heals Peter's mother-in-law. Peter lived in Capernaum, and tradition says that Jesus, although he had no permanent home, he called Peter's house home base. After Jesus healed Peter's mother-in-law, his day wasn't over yet, and you can hear the rest of the story in today's lesson, number 5, Jesus Heals Many Sick in the Evening. You can find the lesson templates, complete illustrated instructions for the Create a page on our website, BibleCraftsForKids.com. You're going to love how easily they are to download and how inexpensive they are. You're also going to like the fact that you can print as many as you need for however many students you have. So let's get started with number 5, Jesus Heals Many Sick in the Evening. What you'll need for today's paper craft kit is the instructions, the printed labels, and a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, which we're going to cut in half. If you have leftover sheets from number 1 or number 2's Create a Page, you may want to use them. I like to rotate my paper, so I eventually use it all without using it in consecutive order, so it looks like a brand new craft each and every time. Starting with your instructions, I want you to notice that on the instructions, of course, you have the colored pictures, but in the beginning there is a template, and this template shows you exactly where to cut and where to score. Remember that solid black lines are cutting lines and dotted lines are scoring lines. We're going to start by cutting our 12 by 12 paper in half. Remember to check for the orientation. Now my diamonds are elongated diamonds, so we may want to cut it this way, but I'm going to check on the back side of the paper, and actually this back side is just kind of marbled, and so it is kind of blank, so there is no orientation on the back. So now I can choose, do I want my diamonds to look elongated, or do I want them to look thin and flat? It doesn't matter, so I think I'm just going to cut them to where they are thin and flat. Getting my paper trimmer, I'm going to cut this paper directly in half at 6 inches. So that will give us a 6 by 12 sheet, which is exactly what we're looking for. And if you'll notice, this page will make 2 students' kits. Next, we're going to notice where our score lines are. Our score lines are 3 inches and then a 4-inch score line. So let's do that. Using our scoring board, we're going to score at the 3-inch mark. And I like to turn it around and do the other end at the 4-inch mark. Now also on our template, you will notice that there's a cut line from the outer right edge to this 4-inch score line. So I'm going to, just so it's easy for me, I'm going to do a score line which is 2 inches from the top edge down to that first score line, so that I know where that will go, where I will be cutting. And that just gives me a guide of where to cut. So let's take our paper trimmer or our scissors, and actually I think I'll just do it with my scissors. We're going to make a cut on that score line, that 2-inch score line, down to the 2-inch score line that we scored. And that's all we have to do to our base page. Now let's work on our labels. If you will notice on our labels again, we have enough labels for 2 students' kits. However, the memory verse card is not on here. It is on another sheet that you will need to print. We're going to go ahead and cut them out, and then I will put double stick tape on the back of them, so that will be my adhesive. So I always like to cut the outside edges off. And notice that when you are cutting the outside edges, you're actually cutting one side of a label. And now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to add my double stick tape. Now that we've got our double stick tape on our labels, I'm going to go ahead and cut them apart. On our labels page, for our cuts, I'm going to look for the longest line. That makes your cutting lines easier. However, the longest line is right in the middle. But if I cut this longest line, it would cut right into my Bible passages. So I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut this longest line. And now I can cut that center line and finish cutting the rest of the labels. I'm only going to cut enough for one set of labels for this demonstration. And we have our 5 labels. Our series label, our Bible passages, our title label, words to live by, and key verse. So let's just see how we're going to put this together. In cutting this page, the cut should be on the right side. Okay, so what you need to do is look at your paper. This is my underneath side, and this is the side that will actually be showing on the front, because this folds to the right. And then we fold the left side, and then we fold the right side. So it actually has some interest just in the coloration of the page, but it's going to be a surprise when they open. For our first label, we're going to put the miracles of Jesus in this top left corner. And then we're going to put our title label on the front of the bottom right corner. And now we're going to open it up, and we're going to put our key verse on the left side, our Bible passages up on the little angle, and this one goes right in the middle. Again, this page is like a little puzzle page, because your students won't really know where to put the labels until you tell them. Although there's a lot of real estate here that they can put them wherever they choose. But to fold it, the little goes first, the left side goes next, and then the right side. And that finishes our page today. Jesus heals many sick in the evening. If you are using binding holes on this page, there is plenty of room to put your binding holes. And when it opens, it will open even with your binding holes. Now I'm going to give you a preview of number 6. I absolutely love number 6. Remember when Jesus told Peter, cast out your net, and he said, but we've been fishing all night. And Jesus, he said, but okay, Lord, if you say so, I will do it. And he threw his net out, and he caught an abundance of fish. And this is such an interesting creative page for that very reason. When you open it, you've got the tongue of the boat, and you've got no fish on one side. You've got lots of fish on the other side. This is easy to cut. It is just a solid template, and it's easy to prepare. However, it looks complicated, and I'll be showing that to you next in our next video. We're so glad you have decided to use Bible Crafts for Kids lessons and creative pages. You're going to enjoy how inexpensive they are, and you can print as many as you need for your class. You can even allow extra for visitors. The memory verse card is just an added bonus. You're going to love the lessons as they teach about Jesus and how he cares for us through each miracle. The lessons also add some cultural information that was important to the lesson. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of the new lessons and creative pages.